when I was reading the synopsis, I was really struck by the variety and number of different women that you mentioned. And I was wondering why it was that you chose these particular figures, because they're so different. And how do you go about representing those diverse characters, both in words and music? I suppose part of what you've been saying about Hilary Summers' amazing voice will be a part of that.
Yeah, I think, I mean, a lot of it has been we do work pretty collaboratively. So I might come up with something and Luke might just say, no. How about this? So there's a lot of back and forth, and you know that, and we make decisions about that collaboratively, which is a really important thing to say. So I researched lots of women and had quite a long list, which got whittled down over conversations in which we worked out the different aspects of power that each woman represented, and actually also how that could be set, how I could set that in words that would set Luke to, you know, on fire compositionally, because the most important thing of my function is to give Luke something that he can really bring to life in somebody's voice and in the choir's voices. We're always thinking about voices all the time. So that if they couldn't fit into that, then they weren't going to get chosen, I would say. Would you agree?
Yeah, I do agree. And how that's kind of been realized is each of the women that we present suggests a different kind of musical treatment. So looking at a kind of overall structure that would retain interest over the 40 minutes, that would be varied and would offer some kind of forward moving trajectory was important in both which women we chose and how Jess kind of wrote their voices in words. So we've got, you know, some comical moments, some very quick witty bits around Catherine the Great, and then we have much slower music for Elizabeth I, and Boudica is a bit more violent and a bit, you know, more leaps and things like that. Another hopefully slightly humorous bit will be with Maggie Thatcher. Hilary's going to start really at the top of her range, her register, and as Thatcher's voice gets lowered, so will the pitch of Hilary's voice. So little things like that, I think, will be dramatic.
Yeah, because that one we've set as her sort of voice being coached. I've chosen an element of each character. Boudica is sort of on the warpath after her daughters are raped. Elizabeth I, it's the last 15 hours of her life when she stood for 15 hours without moving because she couldn't let go of trying to seem powerful. Catherine the Great is a letter because she was famous for her letters and wrote 6,000 letters that were, a lot of which still exist. Which is the only reason that she is so much known in history, because she actually committed things to paper. And Eleanor Roosevelt's giving her human rights speech because she was the person who delivered the Declaration of Human Rights. Thatcher is voice coaching.
Yeah, and she's very much about image and the power of the image and having to conform to a perceived image of power. And
then Hillary Clinton is giving the speech that she never got to make because she never became the president. And so we're hearing from her, you know, what she really thinks. But with each of them, they've all been done. Sorry about that. We've opened the window because of COVID. But each of them have been tailored really so that Luke can make the voices come to life. That's the most important thing, really, isn't it?
Yeah. And it's probably important to say as well that those other voices, the choir, play a very key kind of function in the work and framing each of these women or each of these aspects of power as we go through. So they make it, I think they very much make it feel like one piece rather than a roll call of different characters. They really contextualize it.
They sort of bring that continuity.
That's it.
They do.
Yeah.
They're sort of, they reflect society through history as well, and opposing views, and and they support the women sometimes, and they vilify them at other points. You know, they give you the kind of societal perspective on the women.
And I think it's important that they're a younger choir as well, because we're kind of, I guess we're suggesting the types of qualities that would be useful for that generation to maybe take on and apply in positions of power. So they're visually important that they're that age.